Buenos dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a motherfucking smack addict. Bye-ya. Bye-ya. Yes, indubitably, and as you can tell by that thumbnail right there, we're going to get into another actual, factual, real story about something that happened in my hood. My neighborhood on the west side of Merced, dead end. Ooh-wee, it got ugly, man. And this story was told to me by my dear friend, man, a good homeboy from my water, someone that I grew up with, a little bit younger than me, besides he's from that second, third generation, but he was with the business. Nowadays, man, he's a familia man doing his thing, but at the same time, man, it ain't nothing to pick up a little thing and let it squeeze. One time for your mentality, please, right? Now, Trip, in a menudo style and direct fashion, I felt that if for no other reason, I should tell this story because maybe it could help somebody, or maybe it won't. Maybe it's just funny shit. Either way, it's going to be told. Right here, Gunners Collective, you know what it is. So trip out. In the 90s, the wiggle was real. Okay, the 90s is the most dangerous, deadly era ever when it comes to gang banging. Maybe the 70s in the Pinta, they were fucking sticking and hitting and licking and quitting everybody. But on the calles in the 90s, like, yeah, you can come up shorty show. Real talk, man. And you better follow the yellow brick road. You better fucking run down that yellow brick road away because motherfuckers were boom bangling. The shit was going down, man. Your head would better be on swivelization in the 90s because if it wasn't, so I was scared, it's going to get knocked backwards. Straight Pez candy shit. And that's a fact. That's actual and factual. But this story involves a good homeboy of mine, and I'm going to say his name out there, man. His name is Chalio. Chalio from Dead End. And prior to him becoming a gang member, he's always lived in the hood. Okay, he had a mother and a father that grew up, lived right there in the neighborhood, Dead End. It ain't fucking no history. It ain't no mystery. Yo, history based on the simple fact that a punk ass Mark got snatched in the dark, and now it's just like that. Or I like to rap, but I can't. So, anyways, his mother lived on one side of the street. His father lived around the corner on the other side. I remember Dead End Park basically separated his mother and father's homes. So he was living that split decision life. He was living in between his mother and his father's home, more predominantly with his mother, but he'd go to his father's and kick back, go eat, go chill, was what it was. He was just a youngster from the hood. He was a product of the environment, a product of the hood, but not necessarily put on the hood. He wasn't fucking a certified, stamped that one time for your mind gang member. He just was a youngster from the neighborhood. He grew up there. So, of course, he knew everybody from Dead End. He identified with them. It was all good, but he wasn't gang banging like that. He was not a norteño. He was not involved in the motherfucking reindeer games, ¿sabes qué? But he was about to. You know what I mean? He was about to become way involved. And it's a trip how his story plays out. So one day what happens is the Southsiders started to establish in Merced, okay? And anyone that knows that this time in the early 90s, mid 90s, there was a hood, not necessarily a neighborhood, but I call them a gaggle, like geese and gander. There was a gaggle of Southsiders that were over there on Glen Street by some apartments, right? And I remember we used to drive by all the time, and this is fucking, before I got incarcerated, they were already out there doing their thing. And we used to be just mean mugging and such. Every once in a while, jump off the car and handle your business. I was a little kid. This was pre-YA, pre all that. And then eventually I'm in California Youth Authority when all this shit goes down and I'm hearing about it. I'm like, fuck, I wish I was involved. And there's a Southsider right there at the Pico, like, you can get it involved if you want. No, to what degree of involved are we talking now? I'm just talking, this is a phone conversation. This is make-believe, that's real. So trip out. What happens is, I guess, some of these Southsiders, man, there's a Food for Less in Merced. It's right there on the north side. So everyone pretty much goes there because that's get beer's cheaper and it's cheaper to keep it, right? So everyone goes over to that spot and they run into each other. Some of my homeboys from Dead End, and I don't know exactly which ones, but I know that there were some Vatos from Dead End. They ran into some of these Southsiders, to which they flighted them. They took flight. And that's what it was, man. It was basically an on-site thing. Motherfuckers didn't go hunting and looking for you, but if they caught you slipping in town, you know what I mean? What do they call it? Lacking nowadays. They caught them lacking. And of course, they stumped about 3 or 4 Southsiders out. There were several Norteños from Dead End, and it went down like that. And that's just what it was. That was gangbanging in the 90s. They're lucky they didn't get shot. So I was scared. Southsiders weren't playing, though. They came back with guns. Anyway, so this is what happened. So they took the fucking short end of that stick, and I guess one of the Norteños on the way out, one of the homeboys was like, just Dead End, homie, right? And bounced up out of there. So now these guys knew basically who had done this to them. And they were mad. Oh, they were mad at the world. They were leaking and they were geeking and they were mad, right? So what they did is they went and called some of their homeboys, some upstate Southsiders from different cities to gather up. And now the gaggle got even bigger. Now Vatos are out there looking for blood, and they know exactly where Dead End is, where it's located on the west. They're going to go over there, and they're going to make their presence be felt. That's exactly how it went down. So what happened is they all jumped in a white Econoline van. Orale Azores, right? They all jumped in a white fucking, I call it a white Chiruhu van. They jumped in a white Chiruhu van just based on just the kind of, you know, the fucking weirdos be driving around. They all jumped in it, but they didn't jump in it on no weird shit. They was about to smack them someone indubitably in a menudo style, right? So, of course, they're strapped up, they're cruising around, and they're looking for a victim. And they park right there on the other side of Dead End Park, and they're in the cuts, and it's late night. You know, it's about 8, 9 o'clock at night. So what had happened was the homeboy Chalil was supposed to be going out to eat with his father. He's at home kicking back. He's a youngster, probably about 13, 14 years old. And he's waiting on his father to come pick him up. Of course, his father's procrastinating at this time, slow playing him. So he's like, fuck that, Holmes. I'm just going to walk across the park, go over to my dad's house, let's go see what the fuck he's up to, jump in the car so I can go get me some Carl's Jr. I'm trying to have a double bacon cheeseburger my way, right? He's trying to go get him a Western one time. You know what I mean? The Wild Wild West. Meanwhile, his mom's like, nah, I don't want you out there. You know, typical jefita. Chale, I don't feel the wind's blowing. So hey, something ain't right. It's something in the air. You know what I mean? And I seen an owl fly by, a white one. Like, don't go out there, mijo. It ain't good in the hood. He's like, fucking on la primera. I'm going to go just walk. It's just right there. It's like you can see me. And it's going to be good. So he takes off walking through the park. Now, anyone that knows Dead End Park in Merced, it ain't even really a park. There's fucking just a table and fucking a bar that you can do dips and pull-ups on. That's it. Right? That's all we got coming. We ain't got nada. We don't get nothing. There's been more people jumped in that motherfucking park than people have ridden a slide. Why? Because there is no slide. Straight up. Real talk. So anyways, he takes off walking. He's mobbing. You know, just grooving. Moving and grooving. You know what I mean? I don't need a tag on my back to let you know where my head's at. And he's getting his dip on. And the Southsiders see him. They spot him. So as he hits the street, they pull up on him. Orale, where you from, mister? Right? And the Vato's like, Merced, you know, they're like, yeah, but to what degree of Merced are you from, right? He's like, look, I don't gangbang, bro, I'm not involved in that, I'm just trying to go get me something to eat, so I you know, the Chris Cup Friday, you know the way they go. And they're like, look, they're not believing him. Of course, they're looking for any type of victim, even though he's a youngster, he still fits that mold. You know, the homeboy he was one of those homeboys that had a brusha at the fucking age of 11, right? He just fits that mold. So, of course, they're like, hey, man, we think you're from Dead End. And he was like, I mean, I live in Dead End, but I ain't really from Dead End, right? And so what happens is he takes off walking like, look, man, I don't want no problems. And they slide this fucking van door open. And when they slide this van door open, so there's someone there with the cuerno de chivo, something vicious, right? Fucking right? He takes off running. I oughta did the same thing. So I just gotta hit 2 fences, motherfucking bend down that alley, kick Heathcliff to the side and just pushed, right? So he takes off running. And of course, one of the Vatos hits him from behind to where the homeboy turns around. And he's a youngster and he's fighting like a 20-year-old. And he gives him that boop, bop, boop. Gives him that 2-piece. The homeboy Chalil has always been known to have those hands in the hood. Straight up. I witnessed it with my own 2 eyes before. Boom, boom. Gives that dude, drops that fool. Now they're feeling some type of way. They're like, oh, fuck it. Pinche estrella. Right? They're tripping. Boom. They all jump. They hit the homeboy in the head and the face with the crowbar. Split his whole melon, right? So he's looking like a watermelon that just is too ripe. Boom. Split his shit. He falls out. They're on him. We see the Vatos in the town and you know we're going to stop them out. So they're handling their business. And as they're handling their business, the homeboy's Jefito has jumped in his ride and now he's going to go pick up his son. So he probably did his thing. You know, he probably got him a little. And now it's time. You know, fuck it. I'll take him to Carl's Jr. Says, I don't even know why I had this kid, man, but I had him, right? So he's jumped in the car and as he's driving by, this is actually taking place in one of my good homeboys, in front of my good homeboy's house, man. Rest in peace to my boy Boofer. And man, shout out to my boy Aaron. It's going down right in front of their house. Of course, where were their antennas when fucking the homeboy's getting stomped out, you know what I mean, by Southsider in front of their house? They're probably kicking back, you know what I mean? Aaron, more than likely, was... And my boy Boofer, he was probably drunk. Rest in peace, my brother. I love you. This is just how it is, right? So anyways, his dad's cruising by and he sees someone getting jumped. He don't even know that it's his son yet, right? And so he's like, hey, leave that guy alone. ¿Sabes qué? Next thing you know, they're like, oh shit, they get spooked. So they all jump in the van, the white Econoline van, right? They jump in the van to get the fuck on down the yellow brick road. And he sees it's his son. So he fucking snatches his son up and throws him in the car. And he's like, oh shit, to what degree of his son is left? He doesn't know, but his son is all fucked up. You know what I mean? And the homeboy Chalil is like, just take me to the hospital, Dad. Right now, I can't even talk because that's good. One tooth is over here, one eye is over there. And his dad's feeling some type of way. So his dad starts to chase this van. And these dudes in the van, they're like, fuck it, homes, we're strapped, we're ready. So they actually stop in the middle of the street. And instead of just saying, fuck it, his son's saying, hey, Dad, let's just go to the hospital. So I don't want no more blood. Tripping, right? He just wants to go. His dad gets all, it's his son. And I understand. Imagine if your son was in that situation, you're seeing red, vato, literally red. It's all over your cars. It's fucked up, right? And plus, your stomach's grumbling. You ain't even going to get those Cars Jr. out of this shit. I'm mad, right? And so what happens is he rams this van. Boom! Hits some. Vatos are flying everywhere. You see Southsiders everywhere. Oh, right? Vatos are flying everywhere. And then rams them again. Well, upon ramming them again, the vatos pull out something of a fucking nice nature, right? And the first shot hits the homeboy in the chest. Okay, the first shot hits the homeboy in the chest. He's already fucked up. Like, take me to the hospital, right? Now you really need to go to the hospital. They're like, put the hospital time. So what happens is, of course, his dad goes out of there, gets his son to the hospital. He has immediate surgery, to which they said the bullet is lodged in his chest near his lung. It was a bad situation. His mother comes, everyone's concerned, and there's no way to take this bullet. So there's no way to take the bullet out. So what happens is the doctor presents his mom with the scenario. They say, look, we could take this bullet out, but he has a 50-50 chance of living. Something could go wrong. The bullet could turn, move, it could cut, he could have internal bleeding and die because it's so close to his lungs and his heart. Or we could just leave it in there. Fatty tissue would grow around it. Every few years, he'll have to have an x-ray and go trip out on it his whole life, but it's not going to hurt him as long as it doesn't move. She was like, let me see, die or possibly live. Well, fuck it, possibly live sounds better. So they go that route. So to this day, the homeboy still has a bullet in his chest. Now, what does that do for this youngster that was a non-gang member? See, it was a misidentification. He really wasn't with that business. At that time, he wasn't from Dead End. Well, this built some type of animosity towards Southsiders in his heart, right? And so they made a monster out of this guy. And it only takes one incident like this to turn a vato into a monster. I mean, he got shot in his own fucking neighborhood, where he dwelled, where the soil where he toiled, where he lived, where he played with the Tonka trucks and marbles and shit. Is that, you remember the Asian? Like that? This is where he got shot. Imagine getting shot in your own neighborhood. Now, they're about to get shot. You get caught slipping. You're at the mall. That's gay. You're at Miller's Outpost trying to get some silver tabs and have it your way. And that's understandable. You're in the parking lot, so get sued, and they let you have it. Or north there, whatever the case may be. But this vato got shot in his own neighborhood where he was comfortable. And that's where vatos get caught slipping. When you think you're the most comfortable, is when they gonna get you, right? Straight up, indubitably. And in the Menudo style, they got him. So now he had some type of animosity. He had a hatred for the South. Passion. I remember when I first met the homeboy, right? I remember he was young, man. His primo was my little homeboy. I'm older, right? I'm first generation. That's a fact. For those of you that don't think I am, you better ask about me. Ask about me, right? I'm gone. Anyways, so I remember first time meeting him, I just got out of the pinta, and the homeboys came to my tia's house to pick me up. And it was the homeboy Camaron, man. He was in his Rigo and shit. And when I say bullet holes all over the car, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but there's a couple bullet holes from vatos from LeGrand let us have it one time. You know what I mean? Allegedly. But it wasn't bullet holes all over the car like that. Anyways, I just got out. It was the year 2000 and something. And I remember the homeboy, they were inviting me to a club, Maloney's. It was cracking. They were like, come on, let's go. And I was skeptical because I just got out of prison. Well, I ain't trying to go right back. Fucking around with the homies, you fuck around and catch a body. Especially me, I was stupid like that. Just call me stupid, right? With the capital S. And I'm not even from the South, right? I was dumb. And so fucking, the homies are like, come on, man, come out. Hey, are you coming out, eh? I'm Simon, your life's a risk. I'm not, right? So I come out. And he's there. I remember Chalio's there. He's big. He's on swole ball, bro. He has the hood on his back. He's all tatted down about the fucking show. I don't even know the vato, right? He pulls his shirt up. There's Dead End, bro. And I'm like, why is he gangbanging on me? I know it's Dead End, motherfucker. I was one of the ones that helped come up with the name, right? What are you talking about, bro? You know what I mean? Straight up. Calm down. That's gay. I use knives, right? And so, allegedly. So the vato's like, oh, what's up, bro? Are you from Dead End? He kind of runs up on me. And I was like, hold on here. I'm so disgusted with this kid. I don't know what to do. Push him back. You know what I mean? Give me a chance to at least tie my shoe before I put my foot in his ass, right? And I was like, bro, they call me Skinner from Dead End. What's up, bro? And he was like, oh, yeah. Oh, you're Skinner? Yes, Simone. To what degree of Skinner? To the highest degree, motherfucker. What's happening, right? We ended up becoming good friends, man. I liked the serio pedo in him. I liked the fact that he was about the business. But at the same time, I thought he was a little disrespectful motherfucker. You know what I mean? But it was all good in the hood, man. I started to get out homeboys and started to tell me, hey, this vato fucking is with the business, man. He's over here fucking motherfuckers off. And he really is dangerous concerning the Southsiders. Like, he had a hatred for him. And I didn't know his story back then, you know, and then eventually I heard it over the time. You know, the homeboy got shot in his chest, Sasuke, he took one. Me actually taking one too, man, we could identify with each other because we both took one. What the heck, it hurt? It hurt, but we did that, right? So anyways, he got shot as well. So anyways, man, we that night we pushed, man. We go kick with some jainitas, some gorditas, some motherfucking whatever you want to call them. You know what I mean? We were chilling with fucking gordas, eating fucking gorditas at Taco Bell. We were chilling with tortas, having tortas at the fucking taco truck. We were chilling. The winner was, right? Them. You know what I mean? It just was what it was for us. Anyways, so we're all kicking back. And I remember I used to go around the homeboy a little bit, but not that much. He was a youngster compared to me. But he was cool. But we just ran in different crowds. And I would hear a lot of stories about him. Man, Chalil's with the business. Chalil does this. Chalil does that. And, you know, I never got a chance to sit down and talk to him just until quite recently concerning why he had so much hatred for Vatos upstate Southsiders or even Vatos from down south. And his thing was because he got shot. You know, some people take it that way. They take it literally. You know, I got shot by a Cripa, allegedly, right? But at the same time, I didn't dislike all Crips because of that. It just was a personal thing. Business is business. He felt some type of way, misidentification. It was what it was. A piece of my skull is gone. But hey, you know, such is life in gangbanging. You know, such is life in life. And it happens. But I didn't hate, but he did. You know, he hated all these Vatos. You're all going to pay, Vato. Now, of course, the 8 people that were involved in the shooting him, they did get incarcerated. Hey, they all held their mud, stood solid as a motherfucking rock, and they all went to prison for that. It was an unfortunate situation with the raza, concerning the raza period. One's on the fucking slab and the other ones are locked up. It wasn't me, right? Yeah, it was. It was you, bitch, right? Straight, you're gone. And that's how it worked out. But anyways, everyone stood solid in that situation. No one told nobody or nothing. No, he didn't. No one said, hey, he shot me. No one said, hey, I shot him. Everyone just did what they did. The proof was in the pudding, you know? So anyways, what happens is the homeboy grows up. And just like me in life, man, things happen in the hood, man. He decides to go his own way and become a family man. He has a little bit of children, a few kids. He wants to raise his sons the right way, take them up out the hood, get up out the mix, man. And you know what? You can't be mad at him. He wasn't the type of individual that went in and out of prison like myself. He was the type of one that would always be in the hood drinking a 40, working on his lowrider. I remember his familia had all the lowriders, his steel Rudy, respect, about to get that purple truck. That motherfucker was bad, right? He always had the baddest fucking cars in his familia. His familia is well known out there for car clubs. So he was one of the type that always had a fucking nice, clean fucking whip just in front of his yard, deboing it on a fucking 40. Ain't no thing. But eventually he decides to get up out the hood, move, become a truck driver, a welder, and do his thing in life. You know, you can't be mad at the next man for coming up. But he still has this hatred to the Southsiders. He's not necessarily gangbanging, but doesn't have love. And what happens? I'm going to tell you about karma in life, gente. He ends up hooking up with the chick who's from down south. So I was scared. And by her, I don't know, I don't want to disrespect her, but I'm saying it must have been that good because it stopped his whole lifelong fucking hating of Southsiders. He actually started to kick it with her familia, talk to people, and became open to some type of fucking conversations with Vatos from down south and started to gain and garner a lot of respect for them. And you know, the same thing goes for me. I did as a youngster though, because I was way ahead of my time. But you gain respect when you start to realize that everybody's the same, man. And you can't judge a book by its cover. You can't judge fucking one vato because some fucking babosos already shot you. Hey, they were just doing their pinchy job. Vato, hey, they weren't trying to get stomped out and food for less, but the shit happened, right? You can't be mad at them. Tit for pinchy tat. They came back and did their thing. You know, at the end of the day, it's unfortunate that any of the raza had to suffer some consequences, but it goes downtown like that. Chili Brown. So now, the homeboy, having conversations with him, and that's why I wanted to put his story out. He has a total different outlook on life. He's no longer tripping off Southside, no longer tripping on anyone. He just wants to do his fucking pinchy job. His old lady is doing what she does. He's doing what he does. And his kids, man, hopefully see a good father, you know, a good a role model, and someone who can instill morals and values and not indoctrinate them with poison, right? And that's just it. That's just what it is. Anyways, I just wanted to tell that story about how Vato gets shot in the neighborhood. Yes, dead and right? 730 reasons. He gets shot right in the hood, man. And he was able to live for another day. And yes, he was gang banging for reals, man. This Vato had a vendetta. I remember they used to be like, hey, let's go get Chalil. He'll shoot someone. Allegedly. I used to be like, nah, bro. Come to the gun. I'll show you how to do it real nice. Right? And that's just what it is. Anyways, With that being said, I hope you enjoyed the story. It's a true, actual, factual story, man. You don't believe me? Start scared. The homeboy be tapping in on the lives. He'll tell you himself. The bullet's right there. I got the extra. I just didn't post it. With that being said, man, move fast with a purpose. I hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of this fucking day right here, it's all about your familia. It's all about going out there for your people and striving. It's all about you, man. You can't do nothing for no one else if you can't do nothing for yourself. Get your shit together, baby. You know what it is, man. You don't want to spend motherfucking spill yak on your motherfucking soup. You feel me? Bang, bang. Let's bend some corners. Anyways, if you like this, please hit that like and subscribe. If you don't, so it's understandable, man. You can hit that thumbs down, heavy as the head that wears this bull's crown. I'm going to continue to strive and struggle for what I truly believe in, and I will bring you the constant stories and constant content that I can bring you the best I possibly can. The Gunners Collective, bang, bang. Make sure you tap into profiles. I'm dropping heat. I got heat playing chicken fights with heat in pool. Straight up. It's real. Like, bang, bang.